Hey, what is up, investors? Jason here. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis of Bitcoin. Now, we still have the crypto market in fear here in August, but much better than where it was from April all the way into July, as we were in extreme fear. And the entire crypto market cap is $1.07 trillion, with Bitcoin making up 41.2% of that and Ethereum making up 18.7% of that. So as we get into this analysis, if you don't mind, please do me a huge favor. Please be sure to smash the story, annihilate, or gently press that like button to help me out with the algorithm and help spread this content to more people that might find it interesting. Let's get into this. So at this particular moment, we have a lot of FUD going on with Bitcoin, which is keeping the price down around $23,000 right now. Now, if we look at what we've been seeing with Bitcoin after we had seen the price crash again in the middle of June from its May crash, what we have going on is we possibly did see that bottom with Bitcoin when we had Bitcoin go to a price of $17,600. Now, many people will say, hey, Bitcoin hasn't bottomed yet. The bottom's still to come. I'm not that type of person. I'm optimistic. I think that's just FUD, and a lot of people are pushing that right now. What I think that we have going on is Bitcoin did reach that bottom in mid-June, and that price of 17.5, we rose above that. We had these multiple waves going on. Then we had Bitcoin find a support above $18,000, and then we continued that wave as we're trying to get Bitcoin to break through that $22,000 price. When Bitcoin did that after multiple waves, then it worked between that $22,000 and $24,000 price. That's the area that we're in right now, trying to get through $24,000. Now, we have had two attempts so far. We've had two waves of Bitcoin trying to get through that $24,000 price. And what we could have going on right now is possibly the next wave getting ready to start and to attempt that $24,000 price. Now, we'll get more into that here in a minute, but I want to pull back a little bit, and I'll turn this into the daily chart, where when we look over at what we have going on with Bitcoin from the beginning of the second quarter, from April 1st to this point now, we were in this falling wedge. And in this falling wedge, we had this area where we just kept trying to break out, and the price continued falling through every time it would trade sideways and try to get through that. Now, of course, there's plenty of FUD on these big drops, but you can see that within this wedge here, it was testing a possible breakout every time when we look over at the candlesticks here. So when the price had dropped and it bottomed out at that $17,600, we were moving along sideways. And then when we got to that point in that wedge where we could break out, we did see that breakout in that wedge. We did see it break through that wedge. And that's also what has taken us to where we're at currently, where if you also follow the pattern, you can see that we were always below that 50-day moving average. Let me actually make this a little bit easier for you guys. You can see that we're within that 50-day moving average every time and trying to test to break through it. So when we broke through that wedge, we broke above that 50-day moving average. And that's where we're at currently at this moment. We're above that 50-day moving average and still kind of between that 20-day moving average. So what we have going on right now also is we have this 20-day moving average getting close to crisscrossing that 50-day moving average. Now, looking at Bitcoin on the weekly chart and seeing how we've had multiple weeks in a row where Bitcoin's price has been trending upwards. Now, depending on how we end up ending this week, if we end this week with the price of Bitcoin moving upwards above where it was in the previous week and getting closer to that 200-week moving average, then that's going to really say a lot about how the current state of Bitcoin being viewed is. And that's going to say, hey, people are very bullish on Bitcoin right now in comparison to how bearish things have been. Now, of course, the crypto market's still going to be in a bear market, but this is that sign of things turning around and the sign of, hey, we possibly did hit that bottom back in the middle of June, and we are on that uptrend right now. And we can really kind of make that statement just by looking at how Ethereum is moving here, where Ethereum right now is above that 200-week moving average. It's been actually above that for multiple weeks in a row now. And this is really telling us a lot about the current state of the crypto market. A lot of people now are starting to become more and more bullish on crypto. It's going to be a long recovery for sure. So as far as Bitcoin here in the short term, of course, there's two possibilities of what we could be seeing in this rising wedge as we're seeing these higher highs and these lower lows, the price move up as it is. What we're seeing is we're seeing some consolidation right now within the price as well. So given that we're seeing that, what we could be seeing is we could be seeing the price then go and test the price above $25,000, somewhere around there, and then the price trend back down, and then go into the potential breakout there out of this wedge, and then take us into a price above $26,000. That's a possibility. Otherwise, of course, there is the bearish possibility. So, of course, I don't have a crystal ball, and anything is really a possibility. Now, this analysis is just my own personal opinion, and I'm making this to share with you guys for entertainment purposes only. So please don't take it as any sort of financial advice. This is my strategy that I'm sharing with you. But so as what I do think we're going to see is I think we're going to see the price consolidate a bit more here, leading us into the next 7 days or so with another wave within the price, and then possibly that next breakout happening when we do get that CPI data. So I think leading into days before that CPI data coming out for July, I think we would see a little bit of a downtrend for multiple days in a row with Bitcoin, and then we'll see that price then break out of the wedge, and then take us up to that 100-day moving average. Real possibility. I think that is what could happen, but anything, of course, is possible. So anyways, with that being said, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions about the price of Bitcoin. What do you guys think we're going to be seeing? Do you think we're going to be seeing the price of Bitcoin going up to that 100-day moving average here very soon, possibly within the next week? I'd like to know. Or do you think it's going to be more bearish? But anyways, please like, share, comment, subscribe. New content coming out all the time. I'll see you guys in the next one.